All right, let's look at example 4, which is an application problem. It states a closet organizer charges a $100 initial consultation fee plus $30 per hour. The cost as a function of the number of hours worked is graphed below. So here, these are the organizer's fees. Here's our graph. Here's the time and the total cost. So what we need to do is write an equation that represents the cost as a function of the number of hours. So we have that initial fee, so that's going to be our plus 100. So they want it as a function, so I'm going to write f of x equals, we need to define our variable. So I'm going to say let x equal number of hours. Okay, so that's kind of like the time in hours, which is right here. So $30 per hour just means 30x, and that's how much you get per hour. However, there's initial consultation. That just means for them even to come and start giving you advice on how to organize your closet, they're going to charge you $100. So that means we would go plus 100 right there. Okay, so that is our function and how we write it. And the f of x, that's the cost, right? So now we need to identify the slope and the y-intercept and then describe our the meaning. So when I'm looking at this, what do I know? I know f of x is the same thing as y. So really, I'm going to substitute y in for f of x, and then this is in slope-intercept form, right? Y equals mx plus b. So my m is equal to 30, and my b is equal to 100, right? That's my y-intercept. So that's my slope, that's my y-intercept. Now I need to go ahead and describe the meaning. And so the slope is 30, and that just means that the slope is the rate of change of the cost. Of the cost, which means it's talking about $30 per hour. Okay, so the y over the x, it's the cost over hours, so $30 per hour. That's what the slope. And then the y-intercept just means that's right here, right, is when the time is 0 and there's no time and you're already owing the person $100. So that's just the initial fee of $100. So the y-intercept is the cost for 0 hours, right? Or the initial fee, I'm running out of space, of $100. That's what the y-intercept is representing. Okay, so that kind of got a little squished, but that's okay. Now what it wants us to do is find the cost if the organizer works for 12 hours. So we're going to go ahead and use our function that we have up here, rewrite that, f of x equals 30x plus 100, and they want us to find it when the time is 12. That means x, right? The x-axis is representing the time. X equals 12. And so then we just substitute 12 in for x. So we're really finding f of 12, right? Which is 30 times 12 plus 100. So whenever I'm trying to multiply, right, because I got to multiply before I add, and I have something like this, 30 times 12, but 30 has a 0 in it, I can just go 3 times 12, which is 36, and then add a 0 to it, and then I have the answer. So 3 times 12 is 36, and then you add that 0. So that means that 30 times 12 is just 360 plus 100, and that's what f of 12 is. So we end up with saying that this is 460. So the cost is 460 right there when x equals 12. All right, so that is it. Let's go ahead and look at another example. So so this one, check it out, example 4. I want you to go ahead and try this one on your own. So here's my friend, the pause dragon. Remind you to pause your device. Go ahead and work it out. When you get done, press play and we'll talk about it together. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, let's see how you did. This problem states a caterer charges a $200 fee plus $18 per person served. The cost as a function of the number of guests is shown in the graph. So we have catering fees. Here are the number of people, and the cost is right here. So we're going to write an equation. Okay, so that means we're going to have y equals that represents the cost as a function of the number of guests. Okay, great. So what's our variable? The number of people. So I'm going to say let x equal number of people. And then we're going to write our equation. So y equals, what do we have? $18 per person. That means $18, and per person, that's x. So 18x. And then, so a caterer charges a $20 fee plus $18 per person. So we're going to have $18 per person plus $200. That initial fee. And there's our equation right there. So now we just need to identify the slope and the y-intercept and describe the meaning. So this is awesome because it's already in slope-intercept form. So we know y equals mx plus b. This is the slope. So the slope is equal to 18 and the y-intercept is equal to 200, this number on the side. So if you got that part right, amazing, amazing. And now we just need to go ahead and describe what these two mean. So let's talk about the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is $200. This is the cost when there's 0 people. So even if there's no people to have these people do it, you're gonna spend $200, okay? So that's the initial fee. So the y-intercept is the cost for 0 people or the initial fee of $200. Okay, so that's what the y-intercept means. Now the slope is 18. That means 18 over 1, right? And the slope is y over x. So it's going to be the cost over the people. So $18 for every 1 person. So that's what that means. So the slope is the rate of change of the cost, which basically means it's going to be $18 per person. Okay, that's what the slope means. Okay, so now we are going to find the cost of the catering an event for 200 guests. So we're going to write down our equation. Y equals 18x plus 200, and now we're going to find for 200 people, so that means x equals 200, and we're going to substitute that in. So y equals 18 times 200 plus 200, and see, this is another one of those ones. So if you have 18 times 200, it's the same thing as 18 times 2, and then you just add 2 zeros on the end. So 18 times 2 is, I'm pretty sure it's 36. 16, yeah, 36. So 36, and then we add the 2 zeros on the end. So it's 3,600 plus 200, which ends up being $3,800. That is a lot of money. So we're going to write our answer in the form of a sentence. I should have done that on the last problem. The cost of catering for 200 people is $3,800. That's a lot. Well, 200 people is a lot of people. So, okay, let's go ahead and write. I forgot, I need to write a sentence on this. So we would say the cost for the organizer working 12 hours is $460. So make sure that whenever you're doing application problems, you always have your answer in the form of a sentence like that. Oh, whoops, you couldn't even see it. Okay, so the cost for the organizer working 12 hours is 460. Remember, we took that function equation and substituted 12 in, and we got 460. So that's how you write the final answer right there for this problem, and also right here for this problem. All right, that is it for this lesson. Amazing, amazing, great job. If your problem doesn't look exactly like mine, make sure you go ahead and erase, and so it does. All right, we'll see you next time.